This is Byron Scott with Byron Scott's Fast Break. That's my boy Kid J. JJ Redick. Got a little conversation for you today, my man.
Back with another episode of Fast Break. My name is Kid J. Coach Byron Scott.
What up, Kid J?
We're in the building together.
Again.
We haven't done a together show in a minute because we've had all these amazing guests.
Yeah, it's been a while, and every now and then we got to get back together, just me and you, and talk a little bit about what's going on in the world.
Basketball,
football, life. Whatever, just whatever.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, let's start off with the Lakers.
Yes.
Because we both bleed purple and gold.
Yes, sir.
And the Lakers are currently sitting in 4th or 5th place in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Is JJ Redick doing a great job in getting the best out of this team so far, where we're at in the season?
I wouldn't say he's doing a great job. Is he doing a good job? Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think when you got two of the best players in the league, in Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and you surround them with some good players. Austin Reaves has been fantastic, I think, all season long. He, to me, is that third star that they've been talking about, that they've been needing. So I think to see them in this position right now is not surprising to me one bit. So he's doing a good job.
He's doing a good job. So you just mentioned Austin Reaves, and I just saw on my way here today, stat line, Bradley Beal and Austin Reaves. And Austin Reaves is like doubling the amount of what Bradley Beal's doing, because he's been in the news lately because they sat him on the bench as a 6th man in Phoenix.
Yeah, something happening. Something happening in Phoenix, man. Bradley Beal's going to be on the move now.
Yeah.
It's been talk about him being here in L.A.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bradley's a very, very talented offensive player. There's no doubt about that. But like you said, if you look at what Austin's done this year so far, his numbers have been fantastic. So if I'm the Lakers, I don't know if you think twice about making this deal, especially if you have to give up some of the young talent or some of the draft picks and all this stuff that, they have to give up. You cannot part ways, to me, right now with Austin Reaves.
Well,
he has to stay here.
Bradley Beal is $50 million a year. Austin Reaves is 12.5.
And that's the other reason. That's the other reason. Austin is at a bargain.
Yeah.
Big time. Like a $38 million bargain right now. So, I like what Austin Reaves has been doing all season long, and I like where they are right now. Like I said, I think JJ's done a good job.
Speaking of trades,
the
Lakers have already made one.
Yeah.
They got rid of D'Angelo Russell and 3 future second-round picks in return for Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. Will this trade help or hurt the Lakers?
I think it's already helped.
Okay.
You got 2 players back from Jersey. Both of these guys are very good defensive players, decent offensive players, and I think what the Lakers have needed over the last couple of years is that wing, perimeter defender
who can also knock down a 3.
Yeah, I like the trade. I think it's good on both ends of the floor for the Lakers. But will this trade get them to the next level? That's a question that's going to need to be answered later on in the season.
Now, his first game back, D'Lo, he dropped like 24 points.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that for the Lakers.
It's a different amount of pressure when you play here in L.A., as we know.
Yes.
When you got that purple and gold on and you playing here in L.A., it's a different pressure than playing in New Jersey, where there's no expectations of winning a championship right now out there. So I think for D'Lo, he can play freely.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a lot of, whispering going on when he has bad games like it was here in L.A.
Yeah.
So I think on both ends, it probably was good for both parties to kind of part ways. And like I said, it eases his mind where he can just kind of go out there and be free and play. And it gives the Lakers some guys who have already shown that they can come in here and be contributors.
Yeah. So on our last episode, we talked about our new partner, Prize Pick.
Yeah. Yep.
And you made some picks.
I did.
And we're going to talk about those picks in a second. And actually, I made some picks as well.
Oh, we got to talk about that too.
So we can talk about those picks as well.
Okay.
So, but Prize Pick, super simple to use. Like, seriously, super simple to use. I literally picked up my phone, went to the app. I was able to make my picks, and I actually won. So we'll talk about my winnings here in a second. But it's super simple. PrizePick.com. Use the keyword code BScott.
Code BScott.
You want to spell it?
Yeah, B Scott. And if I got to get even more with y'all, BSCOTT.
Yeah,
but it's very
2
simple.
T's.
Yeah, very simple.
To receive a guaranteed $50 once you play $5 in lineups. So you did the Rose Bowl, right?
I did.
Okay, talk about your picks.
Well, my picks, I had 3 guys that I thought would do really well.
Yep.
Dylan Gabriel, the quarterback for Oregon.
Yep.
My brother from another brother, not another brother, my brother from another mother. G. Scott, tight end, Ohio State. And then my boy Jordan James, the running back, right? Now, Jordan got hurt.
Okay.
He got hurt early in the game. So I'm going to just say that I won. I'm going to say that I won because my other 2 picks did really well. They covered the numbers. So I won when it comes to those 2 guys, and Jordan got hurt. So I'm saying I won. So my picks were great.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
We need to do NBA picks too, right?
Yeah, but you're trying to shit on me and say you're like I won. I won too.
I did win though.
Well, me too.
I made 2 picks.
I made 3, but 1 got hurt. So I won too, ladies and gentlemen.
So my picks were Cortland Sutton.
Okay.
And the reason why I chose him was because, he had a bonus that if he got like 80-something yards, he would get an additional like $500,000 or something like that. So the more or less was 77. So I was like, oh, that's going to be a give me.
So you knew he had some incentive.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then my other one was Derrick Henry. And it was 0.5 just to score a touchdown. So I'm like, wait a minute. Like, that's a gimme. And that's what Prize Pick is all about, is like...
That was easy.
There's some easy picks.
Yeah, that was easy.
Where you can make money. I made $45 off of 2 picks.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And you can too. PrizePick.com. Used code BScott to receive a guaranteed $50 once you play $5 in lineup.
You can't forget that. Code BScott. It's that simple.
Let's get back to the Lakers and JJ Redick.
Okay, let's do it.
So I got to read this from the paper because there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
So Charles Barkley, I guess this is where it started.
Yeah.
And I'm just picking this up. Called JJ Redick a dead man walking. Referring to Coach Redick being the next scapegoat in the organization pattern of blame shitting when things go wrong. This all stemmed from Coach Redick's comments that some TV analysts hurt NBA's viewerships by talking down the product itself. Barkley responded again, when you come for the king,
you better not miss.
You better not miss.
You better not miss.
You better not miss. People ain't watching this crappy product we got because we're out there jacking up 100 threes a night. Ratings are down.
Yeah, big time.
But who do we put the blame on here, Coach?
Wow. Well, you can't put the blame on the media.
Okay.
The players play the game. Coaches coach the game, right? So you cannot put the blame on the media. The media is going to report what they see, and they're going to get their opinion on how the game is played, right? So the players and the coaches, that's where you got to start with the blame, I think, or even go higher. Yeah. And it's the ownerships, or it's management, but you can't. Players are playing the game the way they think they're supposed to play the game, right? The NBA game right now is not a very attractive game to watch. It's not. Let's just be honest, And JJ trying to say that the media is to blame. Come on, man. Come on. I mean, you gotta be real. Okay, you gotta be real. Don't try to jump on the media because players are shooting 100 threes, like he said. That's not attractive. Okay, now that's analytics has a lot to do with the way the game is being played today as well. And some of the guests that we've had on here, Lou Williams, I thought was probably hit it on the head. The creativity of the game is not there anymore. Yeah, it's threes and layups, right? If you can get a layup, you know. But you remember back in our day, we didn't shoot, no. 30, 40, 50 threes, or more than half our shot was threes. It was an inside-out game. Yep. Now it's an outside-in game. So the game has definitely changed. But the beauty of basketball is having 5 guys play the game. That's what this game has always been about. 5 guys on the court, being able to all touch the ball, being able to all score. That's not what it is now. It's one guy dribbling the ball for 20 seconds and 4 guys sitting over there watching.
Yeah. No movement.
No movement. And if you look at the teams in the past who've won championships, even Denver, great movement because they have what I call a hub, in the Joker. You throw it to him, if you got great movement, you cutting, he's going to find you.
Yeah.
Right? That's a hub. A hole is a guy that catches the ball. He ain't looking for nobody else. Right? So when you look at San Antonio back in the day, great ball movement. Look at Golden State when they were winning their championship. Great ball movement. That part of the game is not here anymore. And that's why I think you see a lot of people that talk about the NBA basketball right now that don't have that type of love for it anymore because, the movement isn't there. The players don't play like they used to as far as getting everybody involved. And until we get back to that and realizing that, listen, the product that we have, the athletes that we have are unbelievable. But you still got to get back to having everybody involved because that's the beauty of basketball.
So, like you just said, there's no movement. Do you think could be one of the reasons why, like, D'Angelo Russell was shipped out of LA because he dribbled the ball up, made one pass, and stood right there at the top? And
but you know what? You just can't blame D'Angelo. Like you said, that's why he was shipped out. I think it's a number of reasons why. One being that, another one being on the other end of the floor, he's just not a very good defender, and he doesn't even. From when I watch games, it don't even look like he's trying to defend. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big part of it. The standing around, and you got guys in the parking lot. It's just not attractive for viewers to watch, And I want to get back to watching the game where guys are playing and guys are moving, ball movement, people movement. Guys are setting screens for each other.
Physicality?
The physical part of the game and guys accepting it and just playing through it. I want to get back to the beauty of the game, So blaming the media, that ain't got nothing to do with it.
We talk about Steph Curry.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
I see a lot of people definitely putting him in top 10 players ever to play this game. He has changed the game.
Yeah.
Now, the $1 million question is, has he changed it for the worse? Because teams, Golden State went through their run and they won championships. And they were predicated on shooting that three ball. Two of the best shooters in the history of this league played on that team and won multiple championships.
Steph Curry,
Do we continue putting Steph Curry as one of the greatest ever, or do we look at him a little differently, like the game has changed because of what Golden State and Steph has done?
Well, I think it's changed because of what he was able to do as far as the way he shot the ball. But if you look at Steph Curry play the game of basketball, you never see Steph Curry just standing around.
No. So he's constantly moving.
Constantly moving. So when he gets off the ball, he's even harder to guard because he's running off screens. He's setting screens and then flaring off of them. He's doing all this movement afterwards. So if you're watching Steph Curry and you're saying that's the guy I want to emulate him on both ends as far as when he has the ball and when he doesn't have the ball. You can emulate him on the defensive end because a lot of people say he's not a very good defender. But I tell you what, he tries. He plays hard every single night, right? So I'm going to say what he's been able to do as far as revolutionize the game as far as the three-point line, that's great. But you got to take the rest of it, what he's been able to do. So when his career is over, and it's going to be defined on how many championships he's won, which is 4 right now, right? And then it's going to be defined on the guys that you compare him with in his position on if he's one of the greatest of all time. I think he is. I think he will go down as one of the greatest point guards we've ever seen and a guy who changed the game, just like Magic. When Magic came in the game, there was no 6'9" point guards. So he changed the whole way the point guard position was played. Steph comes along, he changes it also, because now at 6'9", Magic's a straight facilitator.
Yeah.
He's getting everybody involved. Steph comes out, he's a point guard, and as we knew back in those days, point guards were guys who were facilitators. They passed the ball. This guy is one of the greatest shooters, if not the greatest, that we've ever seen. So he's changed that point guard, position into a shooting mentality, point guard, a scoring mentality. So you got to give both of those guys credit. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to who's the greatest at those positions, it all comes down to how many championships did you win? What did you do to affect the game? Both of those guys that I just mentioned, Magic changed the game, to a big degree because of his size and what he was able to do. Steph comes on and he changes it because of what he's able to do from a shooting standpoint.
So does the game need to change again then?
Probably so.
And who is the person that's going to change this game? Because right now it's coming, just like you said, people sitting out in the parking lots
Yeah.
They catch the ball and they jack it. I watched a highlight. It was the Lakers and I can't remember who the other team was. It was literally 8 to 12 3-pointers by both teams back to back to back. They just came up and jacked and maybe 2 were made.
Yeah. That again, we go back to that can't be attractive.
No.
You can't sit there and watch that and be just doing this. I think sooner or later it will change back. The game was revolutionized by Magic and Bird when they came in. MJ took it to a different level. Now, you remember in MJ's years, he wasn't shooting a ton of threes either. Then you get Steph, he comes along. He changes the game. When Steph leaves, it's probably going to change back years later, but it's going to go back. At some point in time, it's going to go back to where you value mid-range game, and you value getting to the basket. You value getting to the free throw line, and you won't devalue the three-pointer, but you'll use that more as a weapon from starting the game back inside out.
So if we're looking at the big men coming into the league over the last 4 or 5 years, and there's some good ones.
Yeah.
But their game, and I'm going to use Wemby as an example, he can shoot the three, and he can knock it down. And nobody's taller than him, so he's going to
block it. Yeah.
So he's going to take advantage of shooting that 3-ball.
Yeah.
But that's not changing the game.
I still think Wemby, once he gets a little bit more aged, which means weight, on him and everything, size, he'll start going down there at that post because, again, you can't stop him down there. The closer he gets to the basket, the more unstoppable he is. Shooting the 3 at his size, that's great that a guy that size can shoot a 3. But your moneymaker is going to be down there in that post or that mid-post, area. Because even if they come and double team him, just like when we had to guard Yao Ming.
Yeah.
You can't send Chris Paul to double team Yao Ming. He just looks right over you. You got to send somebody his size, at least close to his size that can affect him. There's nobody's Wemby size that can affect him down there. So if you double team him, that's great. Somebody on the opposite, somebody on your team is going to get a wide open look. And that's how you get those threes, But if you don't double team him, who's going to stop him down there when he gets 20 more pounds on him and he gets some strength? Who's going to be able to stop him down there from making, 15 out of 17 shots down there or something and getting 30 points a game?
So we always talk about who's next, and we've talked about who's next with the guests and stuff. And of course, Wemby is right there at the top.
Yeah.
Who's the next generation? Is it going to take the Spurs to win a championship for this game to change?
I don't know if it takes them winning a championship for it to change, but I think them getting to the playoffs and starting to get deep in the playoffs and start paying, people start paying attention because Popovich is still one of the best coaches in this league.
Yeah.
And he still understands what it takes to win in this league. I think Pop has had to change to a certain extent as a coach because of the way the game is played as well, which also means, makes him a great coach because most coaches, you get set in your ways, you won't change, but he's been able to change a little bit. But I think San Antonio, with the personnel that they have, with the staff that they have, with the way that organization is run, if they go deep in the playoffs in the next couple of years, I think it's going to get a lot of people's attention and the game will start to shift a little bit.
Does Steph need to be out of the league by that time, or?
I don't think he necessarily has to be out of the league. As long as he's in the league, there's still going to be guys who's going to, jack up threes because they think they Steph Curry.
Yeah.
and there's only one Steph Curry.
Exactly.
Right. I think his last year or two, when he's starting to make his way out, and then a couple of years after he's done is when you're probably going to see that change.
And players are lasting a lot longer than back in your day.
Without a doubt.
LeBron's 40. I don't know how old Steph is, 36, 30.
30, 34, 35, 36. He's somewhere in there.
In that vicinity.
Yeah.
So, his lifespan is what, maybe another 4 years?
Yeah, because you got to understand that Steph is not a guy that plays above the rim either.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he can last.
He's not taking a pounding.
Yeah, so he's not taking that pounding. So he can last a lot longer. I think Steph goes when he's ready to go.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say when he loses the love for the game, but when he gets to the point where he's like, I want to spend more time with the family.
Yeah.
He's made so much money that will never be a question. It's just more of, does he want to continue this grind or does he want to spend more time with the family?
Cool.
And that's basically what it comes down to with these guys. And like, LeBron, his kids are, at that age where he can kind of watch them and develop them and help them, where Steph kids are young. So it's a little bit different, when you come to talk about, giving up the game at that age.
I want to go back to the Lakers, specifically JJ Redick.
Mm-hmm.
He's a polarizing individual, and it's been said that he's not paying homage to the game, to the past players. I mean, how do you feel about that? And I hate to come after JJ, but it's reality.
Yeah. No, we're not coming after you. We're just being honest. We're just being straight up, because once you start talking about, well, these players didn't have to play against plumbers and, guys like that, that's disrespecting the guys who got this game to where it is today. And that's disrespecting me, Coop, Magic, Chamberlain, West, all these guys who play. And there was a lot of guys back in those days that had to have second jobs because the NBA wasn't paying.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of guys who were insurance men, because they had to make a living, right? So for you to disrespect those guys, that ain't cool. That ain't cool. And I think all of us who have played in this league would tell you the same thing. Stick to coaching. You're doing a good job. Leave the media alone. Don't disrespect the past players who made this game and got this game to where it is today. Don't do that. Show a lot of show some respect for those guys as well.
You heard that, buddy.
Yeah, straight up. Straight up.
Okay. Let's get back to the NBA. Gimmicky.
Yeah.
All-star, playoffs. I mean, what can the NBA do to get this viewership back up again? I want you to put on your
my commissioner's hat.
Your commissioner's hat right here. The All-Star game is 4 teams. What is it?
The All-Star game is a joke right now. That's what it is.
Coach Team Charles, Team Shaq, Team Kenny, and Team Candace. 4 games. First team score 40 points. Win. They go to a championship game. Like, it's gimmicky.
Man, what the hell?
What are we doing here? And what needs to change? And how do we get back, to that viewership so people enjoy this game?
Kid J, I wish KB was here today.
Mm-hmm.
Because he hit it on the head, when he played in All-Star games. Get back to East versus West, number one. Get back to competing against your peers. These are the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And the people who are watching want to see you go hard at each other. And Kobe
but they've gotten away from it, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If I'm commissioner, I'm saying, scrap all this crap. We're going back to East against West, and we want you guys to play. We want you to compete. You play harder at UCLA in the summer than you play in an All-Star game.
True.
They do. They play harder at UCLA in the summer when the game is 10-10 and the winning point is 11. And all of a sudden, now you want to play hard. You got millions of fans that are watching you play, and they want to see you really compete against each other. They want to see the best against the best, right? Mm-hmm. Kobe Bean Bryant was the only one out of this generation that would play in the All-Star game and go after you.
Yeah.
After D Wade. After LeBron,
Jordan,
after MJ,
yeah,
he was the only one that was like, I'm gonna play hard because I want to see what you can do.
Yeah,
in some way we have to get that mentality back, and I think all these gimmicks is not helping at all. I know we're trying to, and I know Adam Silver's an unbelievable commissioner, and you're trying to find ways to get the viewership back. I don't think this is it. I think you go back to the old way.
What would it incentivize these players to? Is it money or is it, to try to win this game?
Yeah, I think money is always the driving force, to get, I would say 90% of these players to kind of, go at each other. Money didn't have to, money wasn't, Kobe wasn't driven by money.
Yeah.
He just wanted to compete.
Well, all the players in the All-Star game, probably 3/4 of them are not driven by money either.
Yeah. But get back to playing that style of basketball where you want to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what most players think. They go out there, let's put on a show for the fans.
Yeah.
Well, the fans want to see you play some defense, though. They want to see you really go after each other. They don't want to see Olay, let the guy go in and dunk, and then the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game, if it's close, now we're going to start playing.
Yeah.
They want to see you play. That's what they want to see. They want to see that competitive nature come out because now you're playing against one of the best guys at your position in the league.
Yeah.
Let me show you who's the best. That motto mindset is, I think, what we need to get back to. And I know some of these guys think, when they're playing in these All-Star games, they're trying not to get hurt also. But I've always, I always knew when I played, with the guys that I play with, you don't get hurt when you play hard.
True.
If you're not thinking about that, if you're thinking about going out and just competing and playing hard, you never really get hurt. So I think it's just really getting back to the old ways of just playing hard basketball, even if it's an All-Star game.
You mentioned UCLA a second ago, and
Yeah.
I'm going to sidebar off the NBA to UCLA college basketball.
Okay.
Coach Cronin,
Mm-hmm.
and he called his players soft the other night. Not only did he call his players soft when they lost to Michigan, he even bashed his staff, his assistant coaches, and said they need to do better as well. What do you think about a college coach going and putting it out there to his players and staff?
I love it. I love it. Because I tell you what, Coach C ain't soft.
No.
He ain't soft. So when he's saying his staff is soft and his players are soft, I guarantee you the next day he was like, all right, I'm going to make a change here. With you guys, this is going to how we're going to have to start doing stuff this way. Players, you got to enforce this with the players. I love it. Because I think, again, they get to this next level. They've been cuddled down there so much. They get to the next level. They've been cuddled again down here. Man, call it as you see it. Call it as you see it. If your players are soft, tell them. Let them know. And let them know also, you ain't going to get to that next level being soft like this. So I love the fact that coaches will call out their players, their staff, even themselves at time. I love that.
Do you call it out in the media like he did, or do you do it in the locker room when you go after your players?
Well, me personally, I would do it in the locker room first. So when I did it to the media, they're not surprised. Because I done already cussed y'all out. I done already put y'all on blast. I done already told you what I think. So when I go out now and I talk to the media and I tell the media, I just told my guys they soft as hell.
Yeah.
So when the media comes in to talk to you, you ain't going to be shocked. You know what I'm saying? So as a coach, yeah, absolutely. If you're going to go after your players, you do that first. You take care of them first. You go after them first before you go to the media.
Okay. Going back to the NBA, last one. Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Cleveland Cavs.
Yep.
Number one in their East and West.
Yep.
Are those teams good enough to make it to the finals? And will they be in the finals?
I think both of them are good enough to make it to the finals, but do I think they'll be in the finals? No.
Neither.
I don't think neither one.
Interesting.
I think Boston is still the team to beat over in the East. Minnesota's kind of floundered this year, and Anthony Edwards, who I love, because I think he has an old school mentality.
Yeah.
Even though he did rip us a little bit about, we wasn't athletic back in the day. He got his damn mind, but he better go back and look at some tape too.
Yeah, he better go back and look.
But I love his mentality because he's a no-nonsense type guy. He doesn't believe in this load management stuff. I love that about him.
He's been fined a lot so far in the NBA this year because he's going off on the refs. He's going off on players. He's going off on everybody.
I think he's speaking his mind, you know. But, they've taken a little bit of a dive. Dallas has kind of slipped because of, Luka being hurt.
Yeah.
And kind of also trying to get Clay involved. I think they still got work in progress.
But I think they have the mentality where they can skate.
Oh, I do too.
And then when they need to turn it on.
You hit the butt the right way. Because I
think turn it on.
I think with those guys that they have, Kyrie and Luka, they done figured out how to play together.
Yep.
And then you throw in Clay there, who can knock down shots still. You still got to respect the fact, even when if he misses 8 in a row, you better guard him.
Yeah.
And he guards defensively. He can really guard people. Yep. 1, 2, 3s, and some 4s.
Yeah.
So I won't sleep on Dallas, and I won't sleep on Denver. I still won't sleep on Denver. That's why I don't think OKC will get past those teams. Clippers are still playing well. Ty Lue has done a great job, with them. After losing Paul George and Kawhi not playing for so many games, now he's back. But I think Ty Lue has done an unbelievable job coaching-wise.
Yeah. And
then you got the Lakes, so in that Western Conference, I think it's just going to be really, really hard for OKC to get past those teams.
Yeah.
But the one thing that helps them, besides home court, well, they got SAG. We know that. I mean, that kid is fabulous. But having home court advantage, I think, would really help them. But I still think that they will not make it to the NBA Finals.
Well, we will talk about this in a couple months.
Yes, we will.
And we will be making our picks. What's the playoffs kickoff?
Yes, we will. And I might change my mind by then. I don't know.
Speaking of picks.
Yes.
Can we talk about our football just for 1 second before we get out of here?
Okay.
So we know you're a Steeler fan.
Big time.
We know that I'm a Bronco fan.
We do.
And our bet, we had 2 separate bets.
We did.
It was head-to-head, which you won.
I won that one.
And I still owe you $10.
You do.
Because I only had $10 in my pocket.
You do.
I got a 20. You want the 20 now?
Yeah, and then I owe you 10.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna give you.
Plus,
I'm gonna give you the 20 right now.
I think I got a 10 in my pocket.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
Not sure. I think
so there's a 20. So I'm paying my bets. I'm paying off my dues.
Hold on. I think I might have a 10 in here. Oh, nope.
And then the second part of our bet
I
was,
do have it, but it's in my other pocket.
The second part of our bet was,
put that away.
Who would have the best record at the end of the season?
Yes.
And thanks to your Steelers, who've lost 4 in a row, and my Broncos have won 4 out of the last 6, we're tied.
They're tied.
And we went to the playoffs.
And we both were in the playoffs.
At the same exact record.
The same exact record.
The $1 million question now going forward is, do we bet on who's going to win a game in the playoffs, or do we just keep it as is?
We bet on who's going to win a game. Yeah,
okay.
We bet.
So Broncos are going to Buffalo.
Uh-huh.
And your Steelers are going up against their nemesis.
Yeah,
the Ravens. Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
So if the Steelers win, they're going to be 11-7.
Yep.
And the Broncos lose,
be 10-8.
Then you win.
Yeah.
But if the Broncos win, the Steelers lose, which, they're on their slide.
Yeah,
then I win.
Steelers on the slide. But like I said, I don't jump ship. I got my Steelers winning this game. I know you don't. But Buffalo's about to trounce y'all. Y'all got to go to Buffalo and play them Bills in Buffalo, and they rolling. Buffalo about to wear y'all out.
I believe that the Broncos have a better chance of winning their first round wild card game better than the Steelers.
Kid J, come on, dog.
They beat the Steelers early. I mean, they beat the Ravens early
in Pittsburgh,
but they lost recently.
Yes, they did.
A couple weeks ago.
They got their butt whooped a couple weeks ago.
Well, what you think is going to be different 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later?
They gonna come back ready.
They got to go to Baltimore.
I know. I tell you what, we can do another bet. We can do a $20 bet on if let's just say Denver loses, Pittsburgh loses. Who loses by the fewer amount?
Oh, my God.
Because I'm telling you, Buffalo about to trash y'all. We're going to be in the game. I'm telling you, we're going to be right there.
If any team wins and the other team loses, then that's the deciding factor of our $20 bet.
Okay, you got it.
All right.
Now, wait a minute, though.
Oh, there's a wait a minute?
So, if both loses,
then we...
Oh, so you don't want to take that whoever loses? Are you scared? Okay.
No, that's too much. We'll leave that to PrizePick.com. Our partner. Make sure you use code BScott to receive a guaranteed $50 once you play $5 in lineup.
That's BScott, BSCOTT.
It's another edition of Byron Scott's Fast Break, Kid J. Byron Scott, Coach. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching Byron Scott's Fast Break. If you like what you saw, here's some more videos. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.